I've got one more stop before I head to Eugene for the World Championships. And mercifully, this next stop won't be at altitude. I'm heading down back to sea level for some thick air, friends, and fog. This is a runner's weekend in San Francisco. What's going on, everybody? It is a little bit before 6 a.m. here in San Francisco on a Wednesday? I think today's Wednesday. And you can't see it, but we're over here by the Golden Gate Bridge. It's so wild because I can hear so much like traffic and the foghorn and everything, but I can't see anything. It's so creepy.
Hopefully by the time we come back, it'll clear out.
Yeah, I think it will. It's getting warmer, sun's coming up, so hopefully that fog will cook off. I'm feeling humidity for the first time in a long time now, and it feels great. Hot, but great. It's a familiar feeling. It's like you're just staring into the abyss. All right, we just crossed the Golden Gate Bridge. You still can't see it because of all the fog, but it's back there. But the fog is starting to break a little bit, and it looks amazing. Good run though.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for showing me that route. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to.
I'm hot though. It's warm.
A chance to get to Marin County?
Yeah. We went to the other side.
No, just the Seth Marathon course.
Oh, okay.
So we went underneath and came up the other side.
But it was pretty hilly.
It was pretty?
It was pretty and hilly.
Oh, pretty
Both.
and hilly.
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good, and then like the fog cooked off by the end, and so we got some really great views. Guys, we have made it down to Fisherman's Wharf. Took the cable car down here. It was a fun ride, something I've done before, but it's been probably 5 years, maybe 10 since I've done that. A lot of fun. Takes a little while, but definitely worth it. $8 one way, or you can get the all-day passport and ride that and all the other trains that are out there. We'll do some of that too. First thing that I want to do is get some food. I'm on the search for some bread bowls. My wife's home office used to be in San Francisco, so she would have to travel here frequently, and occasionally I would come along too if it was a longer trip or something that we could turn into a long weekend. Boudin Bakery is one of our favorite things to eat. The sourdough here is just so delicious. I used to make my wife fly home with a loaf every time she had to visit the city. So they cut out the center part of the bread bowl and give that to you on the side. And usually I tear off pieces of that sourdough and dip it into the chowder. And then as you're getting further and further into the bread bowl, you start peeling off edges of it, kind of like if you were eating an ice cream cone, but a big, delicious, savory version of that. And eventually you just get to a delicious chowder-soaked bottom layer of sourdough. So good. After lunch, I decided I'd continue walking along Fisherman's Wharf and head down to some of the other piers that are there. These piers were formerly docks where ships used to unload and reload with different kinds of goods, but these days it's just big tourist attraction with lots of shops, restaurants, and places where you can buy souvenirs and also jewelry for some reason. Not really sure why that is. I decided to get some ice cream for my walk. Ice cream is something that I'd been craving like crazy for this entire trip. When I was at altitude in Denver and then in Mammoth Lakes, I don't know if it was the altitude or the dry heat or the combination of the two or what, but I just was craving so much ice cream, and for whatever reason, I was never able to get it. Now I was walking, I was right by the Ben & Jerry's, and I was able to finally get a delicious ice cream cone as I people watched and headed down towards the end of the pier. At the end of Pier 39, there is a fantastic chance to get a really clear view of Alcatraz and the Golden Gate Bridge. As I headed back towards my hotel, I decided I would try and look for a guy along the wharf who used to work there years ago. I didn't know if he was still going to be around. He's this guy that would carry a couple of branches with leaves on them and kind of hide behind them. And as tourists would walk by, he would jump up from behind his fake bush and startle them. It was a really terrible disguise, and if you knew what to look for, it was obviously a very silly costume, but it would manage to get tourists every time. He's gotten me a couple of times, even though I knew what to look for, and always made me laugh. I didn't find him on this particular day, and I wonder if he's not around anymore. Now, a weird thing about San Francisco is that they have all these really old-fashioned, old-timey kinds of transportation, like the trolley that I took on the way over to Fisherman's Wharf, and they have these other cable cars here that are basically living museum pieces, and I decided I would hop on one to get back to my hotel. Alright guys, made it here. Got dropped by another Tesla. I'm here at the ASICS van.
ASICS for bringing this awesome van here and giving us this opportunity to share some new shoes with our local community. I'm going to throw it over to Matt from ASICS to talk to you guys about what we have here on demo.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for coming out. Super excited. We've been taking our van all the way across the country. We started in New York on June 1st and making our way to Eugene for the World Athletic Championships. So as an official partner of the race, we're super excited, and what we've wanted to do is sort of just travel across the country and uplift all the runners in the communities, because without all of you, we would have nowhere to take our van. So really very appreciative of all of you guys coming out and trying some of our latest carbon plated racing models that Emma Bates and Sarah Hall, two ASICS athletes, will be wearing on the roads in Eugene, as well as our new Kino 29. Both of these models you can find here in a runner's mind, so if you're interested, hopefully ask anyone here. And when you guys come back, we have free tote bags with a bunch of different graphics you can customize. We have a bunch of limited edition Metaspeed Sky pins, and then we'll have some food and drink afterward as well. I also want to thank a Runner's Mind for hosting us this evening. And we have our good friend Mike Kofuzi here as well this evening. Go out for a run with you, so I'll kick it over to him real quick, and then you guys are going to head out on your run.
All right, thanks everybody for coming out today. It's great to see such a big turnout. I've been going to a lot of the stops as well, and it's been amazing to be able to share some miles with people all over the country. And I love being in San Francisco, and I can't wait to run with you all. Hey, what do you think about the Nova Last 3?
This is my first run in it, actually.
I love that shoe. I ran in them this morning.
I'm a big line ride guy.
Oh, are you really?
Kind of just high with those.
Oh, okay.
For the view.
This view is amazing. Good morning, everybody. It is a little bit before 6:30 a.m. here on a Thursday. I think it's Thursday in San Francisco. It's my last day here, last day of this long trip. I got one more thing that I got to do in San Francisco before I leave. I'm gonna recreate a walk that I went on with my daughter years ago when she was a baby. San Francisco is hilly. All right, guys, here it is, Painted Ladies. All right, now, if you're in San Francisco and you want to do the whole Full House tour, you got to get the Painted Ladies. But the Full House isn't among those Painted Ladies that are in the intro sequence. To find the Full House, you can find it on Google Maps. It's pretty easy, but it's a little bit of a ways away. That's too far. Guys, so this is actually the house. There's a little sign there that lets you know Not really, but kind of lets you know you're in the right spot. But that's it. All right, let's head back home.
For many people, San Francisco is a city of technology and innovation. But for me, it'll always be a city of history and nostalgia. And whenever I think about how much I love this city, it's a reminder that sometimes, no matter how much things change, the more I'd like them to stay the same.
Yo, what's going on?